Welcome to Moneyline. This is Matt Mccall. Thanks for joining me here. It is a Monday, so a little different. We're having shows this week, Monday and Thursday instead of Tuesday and Friday, so don't freak out. But we're going to have more shows coming up. But today, we are talking about the markets trading right at an all-time high. We're talking, these SPACs are going absolutely nuts right now. Electric vehicles, Tesla, new all-time high. We get a great show, lots of tickers, all coming your way right now on Moneyline.
The buck starts here. Moneyline with Matt Mccall.
All right, folks, once again, Matt Mccall, thanks for joining me. It is December 7th. It is a Monday, so it is not my normal day, so I'm a little out of sorts here. Normally Monday I'm at the desk all day, but I'm happy to be here. We have a busy day tomorrow, so I can't get it in. Friday I have a thing to do, so we're doing this week Monday and Thursday, so we're still getting our two in. The markets today are kind of weird. They're mixed for the most part, but you know, it's the Dow's down 150, which is about 0.5%. S&P's down about 6 points, 5.5, you can see here, 0.1%. We have the NASDAQ actually up 0.4%. We have the Russell 2000 up 0.2%. That's the small caps. So tech and small cap are leading right now, but it's really weird. It's probably very tough for you to even see, but there's this little tick. That's today. After a big rally on Friday to a new all-time high, we had this like little movement. So it almost seems like we are in a holiday session, to be honest with you. Very tight trading range. And I can actually show you the intraday here real quick. As you can see, you know, we kind of rallied and just, this is it right here. This is today. Nothing. Big move on Friday, nice move last week, just kind of nothing going on right now. So nothing wrong with that. However, while the market's really not doing nothing, it's mixed. Most people's portfolios are probably unchanged. Man, oh man, do we have some stocks moving today. So we're going to talk about that because some of these SPACs, my goodness, they are rocking and rolling. But before we get to the SPACs, a couple of things I want to talk about. One, let's talk about Tesla. Let's take a look at this right now. I mean, we had Gene Munster, you may have heard of him. He's from Loop Ventures. He's an analyst. He does a lot of tech stuff, but he's been a bull on Tesla for a long time. And he was on CNBC this morning. Trust me, I didn't watch it. I'm so done with CNBC. Andrew Ross Sorkin, Jim Cramer, I mean, complete bozos, old Wall Street BS. I'm not watching them, but I read about the interview because I have to keep up with what's going on, obviously. Well, he came out and he put a price target on Tesla of $2,500. It's about $2 trillion. It's about 300% upside from here. You know, you all know, though, for me, I think it's a $4.4 trillion company by the end of the decade because I think it's going to do $1 trillion in sales by the end of the decade. And for subscribers to investment opportunities, which you can get in for $99 a year, for investment opportunity subscribers, you know, because we're in Tesla, we're making money, I'll tell you that. We're in Tesla, and you know how we get to $1 trillion in revenue by the end of the decade. You know why this is going to be a $4.4 trillion company. So, Gene Munster, take your $2,500 and hit the road. You're not even close to us. No, he's a good guy. But it's funny because a lot of people who have these big price targets, like myself, ARC Research, Gene Munster at Loop Ventures, a lot of people point towards just the autos, becoming such a big auto company. Me, I look more at battery storage. I think battery storage is going to be huge to them. ARK Investment looks very much into the ride-hailing and robo-taxis as the future. And Gene Munster is looking at, he sees it being a disruptor outside of autos, just like ARK and I agree with. But he's looking more at, one thing he mentioned was high-margin insurance, because they'll be doing insurance on these cars. And then like even HVAC, you know, heating, ventilating, air conditioning, and getting into that using their technology. It's kind of crazy how we all have different views on it, but we're all extremely bullish. And the thing is, imagine if all these hit. The robo-taxis, the ride-hailing before we get to robo-taxis, the battery storage, which I think is going to be huge on a commercial level, maybe HVACs like Gene Munster talked about, maybe it is high-margin insurance. Holy smokes, the path to $4 trillion is right there. And again, I mean, that stock of $4 trillion is several $1,000s. And another thing I want to talk about on this chart here is, you remember when I said I drew this a few weeks ago? When I drew this, the stock was down here. It wasn't up here yet. It was down here. And I was telling you, just imagine that. I was telling you, that is an ascending triangle. We have an ascending low. We have an uptrend. But then up here, we have a flat line. When it breaks above that, I told you, the stock is going to run. What did the stock do? Holy smokes, did it run? I mean, from that level through today, that's what, 2 weeks? Man, this computer's giving me problems. I can't see that far. But it's a big move, I'll tell you that. Let's say 475 to 6.25. That's a $150 move. That's a big, big move. That's about what, 35% give or take? I'm doing math in my head. In 2 weeks on a company that's getting added to the S&P 500 in a couple weeks. This is a big company. So the EVs are moving. So while we're here looking at Tesla, and would I buy Tesla today if you gave me money right now? Probably not. Because a lot of times what happens is after you break above this resistance level, you have a bit of a pullback. I call it a breakout pullback setup. And you're going to see a bit of a just natural selling, profit taking, volume will probably get real low, and that's okay. So buy on weakness. I never buy hitting at the high because you can't hit highs every day and you're going to have some type of pullback. If you own it, let it run, baby. I love it. Love it here. So let's take a look at a couple others. Let's see what NIO's doing today. This is the Tesla of China. Well, NIO's having a pretty nice day, up 5.6%, but been on a wild ride here. A lot of the Chinese EVs got hit about 2 weeks ago, tried to come back, but then sold off Thursday and Friday. XPeng, very similar chart. That's actually down today. Then there's Li Auto, LI. These are the three big Chinese EVs. It's up 6.5% today, but well off the highs. Let's go back to NIO. Many of you know Li I did own for myself. I sold a while back, a couple weeks ago. NIO we do have for clients at Penn Financial Group, for full disclosure. We bought in much lower, in I think $18. And we're letting it go for now. I mean, who knows? I may sell tomorrow, but for now I'm letting it go. I like the action. I still think there's much more higher levels. This pullback to me looks good. And just so you know, we ordered a touch screen, which is going to be awesome, if I could draw on it for you guys. But we're having supply chain issues with the touchscreen right now, so that's why we don't have it here yet. So as soon as we get it here, we'll have the touchscreen. Hopefully January, we'll have that all set up for you. So still like NIO here. Of the three, I like NIO. Another thing that he mentioned, which I thought was pretty interesting, this is Gene Munster again from Loop Ventures. He thinks that Volkswagen and GM are the only two auto companies that can keep up with Tesla on the auto side. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'll tell you, I think you can't overlook Toyota. They're really putting a lot of work into solid state batteries. I know Elon Musk doesn't believe in that. I do. I think there's going to be a lot of different battery players, but I think solid state is definitely part of the future. Toyota's a big player there. They were one of the leaders in hybrids back in the day, so I would not overlook them at all. Then there's Volkswagen, and if you take a look at Volkswagen here, I think it's this one right here. There's a couple different, oops, wrong one, sorry. There's a couple different symbols for Volkswagen. I never get the right one. Let's go here. If you take a look at a Volkswagen chart, very similar to Toyota. Nothing like Tesla, but it's very similar to Toyota. If you take a look at the long-term chart here of Volkswagen, it's not the greatest, but there is, to me, big upside in Volkswagen because they're the one company in Europe that says we are going all electric. We are not screwing around. I think there's big upside potential with Volkswagen. Personally, I don't have any exposure or own any of it. If I were to go the route, autos just aren't my big thing right now. There's other ways to play transportation 2.0, as I call it. We have a portfolio and investment opportunities. We have a portfolio in ESI. I have stocks for clients at Penn Financial that are related to Transportation 2.0, and it's just a little bit different ways than Volkswagen, but I don't think that's a bad play. I think Volkswagen will be much higher 10 years from now. And he also mentioned GM as a potential keeping up, and GM's had a nice run here as of late. I just don't like it. I wouldn't be owning a GM for me. And let's take a look at Ford. Ford's had a nice run as of late too. I almost prefer Ford over GM, honestly. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a gut feeling, but I prefer Ford over GM going forward. But again, I wouldn't put any of my hard-earned money to either one right now. Speaking of cars, you want to see a stock that's moving today? And this is called EHang, and symbol's EH. It's a Chinese flying car company. And before you shut me off and think I'm absolutely lost my mind, I've been pitching flying cars, and it's not like the cars, it's not like Back to the Future. It's not a DeLorean where the wheels go up and it goes like this and takes off. They look somewhat like helicopters, except for there's a bunch of different propellers on most of them, not just one. They're electric. A lot of them will be autonomous, believe it or not, self-flying. But I sat in a couple of them when I was in Vegas at CES in January. One by Bell and Howell. I think they're just called Bell now. That was a really awesome one I sat in. Hyundai had one there. They're working with Uber, I believe, at the time. Toyota might have had one. Or I think Toyota was just like a minibus autonomous vehicle that I sat in. But eHang is a company that we actually recommended for subscribers of Early Stage Investor. We looked for companies under $2 billion, and people thought it was crazy. I recommended it on the 1st of April at $10.28 a share. It's now at $17.59, so you're up about 70%, give or take. And huge day today, up 31%. Look at the volume coming into this. They had some really good earnings recently. I think this is a real company. A lot of people are going to think I'm nuts, but I'm telling you, part of the future of transportation will be autonomous flying vehicles. I mean, it is what it is. And they take off kind of like helicopters, fly, land. It's great for people who, looking to get 5 miles, but typically with the traffic, it is going to be real. It's not like we're going to be the Jetsons, so you have to kind of look at it realistically. But this is a company you don't want to ignore. And the only reason I'm sharing it is because it's up so much already. But if you take a look at the numbers, companies estimated this year for $57 million in revenue, about 8 cents a share. Next year, revenue is supposed to jump up to $275 million, making about 64 cents a share. And this is a company that before today is about $700 million. Now it's up around $960 million company. But that's pretty damn good. I mean, before today, it was trading at around 3 times sales for next year. That's not bad. Some of these software companies are trading at 50, 60 times forward sales. 3. And this is a technology, again, that could be huge. So again, I'm not recommending. Nothing here is a recommendation. I'm sharing thoughts, sharing advice, not advice, just sharing research that we do with you, and you take your due diligence and do what you want to do with it. But very interesting play here in eHang and a major breakout for the stock right now. You can see it went public back in late 2019, so hitting a new all-time high today. So congrats to early stage investor subscribers. Good job on eHang. All right, so clear my throat here. Let's keep running through. Before we get to SPACs, I'll close up with SPACs. Today's show's gonna be a little shorter than normal. I get a lot of questions recently on Twitter and just from subscribers and clients too, everywhere really. And they're asking, how do you manage winners? Because we've got a lot of pretty damn big winners. So maybe I'll bring up a SPAC here and just kind of give you an idea. So a lot of people, because I talked about this, and we have it in a newsletter. This was GMHI. It was a SPAC that we put in there because we knew it was going to be, it was public knowledge that it was going to be combining with Luminar Technologies, which is LiDAR, which is used for autonomous vehicles. And I love that sector. So I said, yeah, we're going to add this to the newsletter. I think it was around $12. Now it's at 37 in literally a month or so. So again, congratulations to our subscribers. But people keep asking, how do you manage these profits? I mean, it's up 20% today. But if you got it in $12, you're up 3x. That's a big damn gain. That's 3x your money. If you put 12,000 into it, you're at 37,000 in a matter of a month. So what do? You don't want to lose that. You don't want to give it up, but you don't want to sell here and maybe lose out on more. I will say, when it comes to these SPACs and these EV stocks that are moving like they're moving right now, there's no perfect way to play it. I'll be honest with you. I own some myself, obviously, that aren't in the same tranche for subscribers or clients that I own for myself. I'm not going to tell you what they are right now, but they're moving too. And it's tough. I will say my CEO and I both own one of them that I said, hey, this was about a week ago, I'm getting into this. And he's like, all right, and he's like, it's not for subscribers. No, this is my own personal money. So he got into it as well. So he came in this morning and says, I'm buying you lunch. He goes, I closed out 3 positions you told me about, all huge winners, and I'm buying you lunch. I said, well, I brought my lunch, don't worry about that, because I'm on a nice diet here before I go away for the holidays. But he was so happy, took this big gain. I'm like, I might sell mine too, but I got busy. I was on calls, I was moving, I'm in the office, in this conference room, all over the place. Next thing you know, I look down, and the stock's up another 15%. He's like, I just left thousands of dollars on the table. I said, I got lucky because I got busy. I don't know. It could have been down 15% more from there. I don't know. So when it comes to this, this is a unique situation. So what I would say is, if you have a 3x gain in a month, take half off the table, or take a third. If you take a third off the table, you take back everything you invested into it. So you put 10 grand in, take your 10 grand back. All the rest is house money, and let it go. Do I think LiDAR is going to be huge? Yes. Do I think Luminar is a good company? Yes. Do I think it's worth $37 today and it was worth $12 a month ago? Maybe not. Do I think it could be much higher a couple of years from now? I do. But on the way there, it could hit 20 before it goes up to 50. So if you're not okay with that, then sell it all and get out now. You can maybe get back in. If you miss it, you miss it. We'll move on to the next one. Again, I don't want somebody telling you this is what you're supposed to do, because nobody knows. Unless you have a crystal ball, unless you can see into the future, you don't know. So, but again, nobody's ever gone broke taking profits or taking back the money you had. So maybe take half, take some profits. Maybe you lock in what you have, play with house money. No problem with that. If you say, listen, my goal was $50 for this from day one, heck, let it ride to $50 if that was your goal. So just keep that in mind. There's no perfect way to play these. And remember, if you're in this situation, smile. Enjoy the freaking day. Don't stress. If you sell half and it goes up tomorrow, who cares? If you sell all and it goes up tomorrow, who cares? If you don't sell any today and it's down $1 tomorrow, who cares? You're up big. You're enjoying life. You're making money. That is our goal here, right? I run into the issue, people always ask me, well, what's your goal next? How much money do you want to make a year? How much do you want to be worth? I have a shirt that I bought when I was worth literally probably $20. It says Future Billionaire, like years ago, like 15 years ago, and I still have that shirt. And yeah, I'd love to be a billionaire. I mean, I know my odds are small, but fuck, excuse my language. Heck, I've done it before. I've beat the odds. So, let's try it again. But realistically, you set a goal, and then the moment you hit that goal, you set another one. That's what I do in life. But you have to sometimes take a step back and enjoy it and reflect on it and say, heck, I just reached a great goal. Let me take that money out and buy myself something. Let me go buy my wife or my husband or my kids something. Enjoy it. Or reinvest in the next stock. But remember that life is a series of events, and we want to enjoy those events along the way. Not to get too philosophical on you, but when it comes to this, sometimes this money and these numbers and these charts can really screw with our heads, going up and going down. Same thing can happen going down. You can think like the world's ending, but no, it's not. Things don't go up every day. So when it comes to a long-winded answer, there's no perfect way to do it. But when you have a big gain like this, there's nothing wrong with taking some off the table and playing with the house's money, in short. Now let's talk about some of these SPACs. Some of them are really, really moving today, and I got some questions from people coming through here. Actually, one more thing before I get into SPACs. ASH is going on this week. This is a big biotech conference, and some of the stocks are really moving. Look at Fate Therapeutics, and I will say, and I'm not pulling your chain, this has been on my watch list from back there when it dipped back in March. It's been on my watch list at 20. Now it's at hit 90 today. I missed it. I don't have it for clients, myself, subscribers, nothing. And I actually had a buy-in for clients back in here around 40, and I missed it. We'd be doubling our money right now. So we miss them sometimes. But look at what the biotech stocks are doing on that. Here's the Spiders Biotech ETF, the XBI. It's up about 1.6% off the highs of the day, but still hitting a new all-time high. What about the ARK Genomic ETF, ARKG? Again, off the high, but up 6.5% today. Man, oh man, it's rocking and rolling. So some of these are really moving. To me, the biggest news that came out of ASH was from CRISPR and Vertex. And here's CRISPR Therapeutics. Again, we have this for early stage investors. Not recommending it. We're up well over 100% on it already. But CRISPR Therapeutics is a leader in CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Gene editing technology. And they came out and they released one of their trials. It's called CTX001. And with Vertex, there's a VRTX, another publicly traded larger biotech company, to treat sickle cell disease. And basically, the patients that have gotten this, 12 months and 18 months after getting the gene editing, have been cured of sickle cell. And remember, there is no cure for sickle cell disease right now. From what I read, it's one of the most painful, debilitating diseases. Your life is typically cut short. You don't live as long. Your life expectancy is much shorter than the average person. And just a painful, really crappy life once it gets bad. So imagine going in for a surgery and getting this cured like that. If something like this gets passed, You know, the reason that you could do that is because it's what's called a monogenic disease. One thing off, one little strand off. There's 10,000 monogenic diseases. If this can work, just imagine the future. How many people kids will make it past their second year in life because they had some disease that they couldn't get past it? I mean, it changes things. I know there's a lot of negative things around CRISPR because you can start creating this perfect super army of human beings. Sure, there's a downside to everything, folks. But think about the amount of lives that it can save and the amount of pain that people could take away. Man, unbelievable. And the stock's only up 5.5% today. I say only because I thought the news was amazing. But keep in mind, it's up about 55% in the last 3 weeks. So it's up big. But man, oh man, you have that. You have another one in that space, NTLA up 12% today to an all-time high. Editas, take a look at Editas, up 14.5%, breaking out to a new high. Beam Therapeutics, BEAM, 12.5%. We just hit a double on this in 6 weeks. This is actually a free one. I gave away one of my videos with Steve Sugarud. This is a free pick we gave away, or I gave away. I mean, up 100% in 6 weeks. Gene editing. I mean, there is, I mean, look at this. Goodness gracious, folks. I mean, there is opportunity out there. All right, so again, managing this, I don't know. I mean, you let it go for right now, but if you want to take something off the table, feel free. And again, congrats and thank you so much to my subscribers out there, because the more you support us, the more research, the better team I get, the more time I have to come up with the next big beams, the big ideas. So, and you know what's crazy? Maybe I should get Beam tattooed on my arm, because there's Beam Therapeutics and then there's Beam Global, which is a huge winner for us as well. From down here up there, we're up well over 100% on this one too. Maybe something with that Beam. Anything that sounds like a beam, I'm betting on from now on. Maybe I go to a racetrack and find a horse named Beam, even though I never do well with the ponies. So, also, I'm coming up. I will be. Oh, you'll miss it by now. But I am. I'm going to be on TD Ameritrade's TV show today. So at like 1:45. It is 1 o'clock right now. So I got to wrap up and get ready for that. You'll see this afterwards, but you can just Google it. You'll see it. So let me go over a couple of these real quick. Laser. We just talked about that one. I mean, yeah. Geez, I love it. Let it go at this point. I just messed up the chart, didn't I? Let it go at this point. What else do we have here? Where's my list I just had in front of me? I lost it. Oh, there it is. QuantumScape, QS. This is a SPAC that won recently. It's unchanged today, but still, I mean, you can see the huge move on it. Let me see if I could get this chart to look a little better for you. Here we go. What else is moving today? I talked about this one last week. Up big, down. It's up 7% now, off the highs. GIX, GIK, Gig Capital 3 is up 7%. So it's just, it's one after another when it comes to these SPACs. And OAC, Oaktree Acquisitions, up 7%. Things can't go up every day. So be realistic. If you've had a lot of big gains in these SPACs, take some off the table. Don't become a pig. Pigs get slaughtered. Be happy. There will be a day where the SPACs all get crushed. I'll tell you right now. I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon, but it's going to happen. So keep that in mind. But again, just recap real quick what we went over here. We have markets mixed today, but even though they're mixed, a lot of our stocks are moving. Growth investing is working right now. It's going to work for the next decade. The roaring 2020s are real, folks. How to manage gains. Again, no perfect way. If you get real quick, big winners and you're worrying about it, you can't sleep at night because you have a winner. Take it, enjoy it. Move on to the next one. You can't go broke taking profits, folks. Tesla, man, oh man, it looks good. I think it keeps going. We talked about SPACs. We talked about NEO. EHang, flying cars. It's a real thing. It's going to keep going, in my opinion. And again, we have ASH going on this week, so you're going to see a lot of biotechs moving, some great breakthroughs. The roaring 2020s are going to be great for biotech companies, great for liquid biopsies. We're going to eradicate cancer in the next decade, in my opinion, through prevention. I mean, we have such amazing things coming up. I can't wait. So again, this week we're doing shows Monday, Thursday. I will be back Thursday. I'm getting together with Louis Navalier tomorrow, working on our power portfolio, 2021 portfolio. I can't wait. Him and I, we're butting heads right now trying to come up with it because we have so many good stocks. I want mine, he wants his. So we're coming together. So the ones we come up with are going to be past both our tests. So I can't wait to get those and roll those out to you. We're going to roll those out on the 16th or 17th of December. I can't remember when it's going to be. So again, thank you so much, folks. Again, be appreciative. We're making money. This is a fun time. As I always say, we're here to make money. That's why you listen to me. I'm not that engaging that you want to just listen to me. But again, let's be positive. Let's enjoy life. Let's be safe out there. Let's hug somebody, tell them you love them. And just, again, we want to enjoy life along the way. And the great part is, I'm here to help you make more money along that way to make that life, whether it be more comfortable, whether it be that second home. I don't care what the hell it is. It could be pay off your debt. It all can be done and all can be achieved. Thank you so much. Once again, I'm Matt McCall, and that's been your Moneyline.
Moneyline with Matt McCall. To find more information, head over to McCallMoneyWire.com. That's McCallMoneyWire.com.